The protein I was assigned for this project is the melanocortin-1 receptor, also known as MC1R. As you can see, I made it out of pipe cleaners and beads. The pipe cleaners represent the cell membrane, whereas this is the outside and this is the inside. And the beans represent the arginine 67, which aids in the regulation of skin pigmentation. Now, this protein is only found in animal cells and not in plant cells. And the mutation I found was cysteine replacing the arginine. Now, the green bead represents the arginine, but if I switch it to a pink bead, like so, then this protein is no longer able to regulate melanin. It can't regulate melanin because when arginine is changed to cysteine, it can't bind with MSH, which means that it can't produce melanin anymore. And with this change, the functional groups became phosphate and hydroxyl, and this amino acid chain is smaller comparatively. And basically, when arginine is in this position, then it can bind with melanocyte, which allows it to produce melanin, but when arginine is in this, then it can't produce melanin. I meant to say cysteine, but when cysteine is in this position right here, it causes the protein, or it doesn't cause, it forces the protein to find a whole different metabolic pathway, and a lot of times this ends up with the cell not being able to produce any in the first place. And the cell can't produce any melanin because the protein basically loses its function. And a limitation of this is that the arginine and the cysteine is supposed to be all over this, but I didn't have enough beads to make that happen. And this protein is supposed to be longer, but also I didn't have enough pipe cleaner beads to make that happen as well. And finally, it's supposed to be more well put together, more straight, but duct tape wasn't working well in this pipe cleaner, so this is the best that it could come out. So basically what we learned is that when we have arginine in position 67, it is able to interact with melanocyte and produce melanin. But when you replace it with cysteine right here, it's a mutation and it can't interact with melanocyte. And it forces the protein to find a whole different metabolic pathway, which causes the protein to lose function and pigment to not occur. So mice usually have protein with arginine. Well, brown mice do, and white mice usually have protein with cysteine, as you can see.